We are excited to establish a buddy ministry at St. Paul's. We believe there are more families in our community that are not attending a church due to the special needs of their children. Our goal is to be able to invite and provide support for people with all ability levels. Our inclusion ministry will provide one-on-one buddies to serve in a classroom for these individuals needing assistance in order to participate in a classroom or so that our family members can attend a worship service. We invite you to prayerfully consider how you can connect and serve in this ministry.
I'm Mary Beth Gatchell.
I'm Sean Gatchell.
We are parents to two boys, Brady, who is 7, and Benjamin, we call him Benji. He is 4. Both our boys are autistic. Brady was diagnosed when he was 3 years old. Benji was also diagnosed at 3, but since we had already been down the road with Brady, we caught on to it a little earlier than we did with Brady. We live in Elizabethtown, actually went to E-Town College and graduated in '99, work in Lancaster. I was lucky enough to get a job pretty soon out of college.
And I'm a stay-at-home dad, and I take care of the boys.
We're not autism experts, we're Brady and Benji experts. Autism is a neurodevelopment disorder. There's no known cause, and there is no known cure at this point. There are treatments which can lessen the symptoms. You develop a certain set of behaviors, and when those behaviors are severe enough, you're diagnosed as being autistic. Autism is also referred to as a spectrum disorder, which means that the level of behaviors and the range of behaviors can vary across the spectrum. You can have people at the very severe end, like our boys are, and you can have people that are referred to as high-functioning autistic. If you ever watch The Big Bang Theory, like Sheldon is probably a good example of high-functioning autism. You can have very singular focus. So like, for example, if kids who like trains, they're very into trains, they're all about trains, this is what they do. Some of the other behaviors that you'll see on our boys, so like Brady with the hand flapping, especially when he's excited.
They call it stimming. He basically does it to regulate himself, to calm down, and it's how he slows the world down so he can understand it. And he has other little tics, but the hand flapping is probably the most noticeable. And he likes to hum, and it just kind of soothes him, and he also covers his ears. Benji is a little different. They're both very different, but Benji will just sit and just be scared, but Brady does things to regulate himself, so he's more noticeable than Benji is.
One of the hallmarks of autism, though, is the communication piece. So on the severe end, you will have autistic individuals who are referred to as nonverbal. So our older son Brady is completely nonverbal, so he doesn't talk
At all.
They are still capable of producing noise, and a lot of noise.
And telling you with the noise what they want.
Our younger son, I guess, could also be considered nonverbal, but he has emerging speech. It's more that he is repeating words right now. There's no look to autism. An autistic child is going to look just like any other child. So one of the things that we get hit with a lot is somebody will come up out in public and they'll address our child, they'll talk to our child, and then they don't answer anything. They might not even acknowledge that this person is in the room. One of the things I would say is give people the benefit of the doubt. So it's not our child being rude, it's not us not parenting them well. There's other issues going on behind the scene.
And in particular with our kids, if you want to walk up to them, a lot of times, other than just walking up and sticking your hand out fast, you would want to be a little more slow. It takes them a little more time to process things. For example, Benji, if you would make a loud noise or a quick move, he would be scared. So everybody's a little different, but our kids in particular, just be a little more slow and talk a little quieter, but pretty much treat them the same way and give them the opportunity to interact, and that's pretty much all you can do. But they're going to be a little delayed. Like Brady, if you stick your hand out, traditionally it's going to take him a couple seconds more than normal. He just has to process. He uses your hand as a visual cue. Like he doesn't know, hey, we're greeting, let's shake hands. Once you put your hand out, he's going to say, okay, now I'm supposed to shake. He figures it out. They both are good about it.
Yeah, one of the things that will most likely happen too is that the parents are going to be very close and are probably going to jump in and intervene in some way if you're truly wanting to interact with the child. So look to the parents or whoever is with the child for cues as well on how to interact. My family attended church weekly. Growing up, it was just a part of life to go every week. When Sean and I got married, it was one of the things that we discussed. We intended to keep up with that and take the boys to church. We tried doing that when they were infants, and of course, like, we ran into the same issues that other parents do with trying to take your infants to church. So we backed off of it for a little while, and I would go myself and Sean would stay home with the kids. And then after a while, it just became super difficult to go, and even to the point where Sunday mornings, sometimes it was just such a nice break not to have anywhere to go that all of that kind of drifted off. It was probably the end of last year where Sean and I started talking about it again and saying, like, let's get back to how we intended to parent. How are we going to make it happen and go to church again? We try to give our kids as many experiences as they would have had they been typical children. Church was a big part of that we were missing. We talked about going to the church that we had been going to. Some aspects of the service would not have worked for us. It was too quiet, a little too structured, and it didn't really have the support system there. One day I was out talking to Tim and Emily in the backyard and mentioned like we had seen the Gartleys going to church every Sunday, and we see the type of life they were giving their kids and how their kids acted in the backyard, and just opened up the one day to them about, well, what's your church like? Is there anything that might be open to us?
Very quickly, Emily just went head on and got involved and set us up, and here we are. So we're very grateful.
Yeah, like, we never even really expected like a 10-minute conversation in the backyard would turn into what it's turned into. It's been really nice. The boys get excited for it. We get up on a Sunday morning and we say, all right, it's time for church. And Benji goes, church.
All morning. And they both know when we're getting ready, and they get very excited, and we're very grateful. Everybody's been so friendly and understanding and just treating us like family, and we're very grateful to that, very appreciative.
The thing that I think has meant the most to us, like in addition to just being so welcoming, is that we've been able to be open about the difficulties that our children face, the different aspects of their behaviors that we might have to accommodate for, and the church has found a way to accommodate that and move forward. And at first we felt really guilty that we were making everybody do this because we were taking people out of the service. That was very quickly squashed. So it's been a good experience. We've always considered ourselves spiritual people, but I think it's important to have that structure and that base to be able to go to. The thing that we've taught people about our kids, I would think this would apply to most special needs kids, is that even though you can't necessarily tell all the time, they do take things in, and they're aware of more than what you would even realize. So like when Brady's in the back of the church and he's dancing and jumping up and down because there's a song that comes on that he's really enjoying, he's taking all that in, and he's hearing it and he's absorbing it.
All we'd really like to say is that we're just very grateful for the church being so open and welcome. And I think every parent wants to surround their kids with the best people and best examples, and this church has given us the opportunity to have our kids around some really amazing people, and we're very grateful for that.
As the Children's Ministry Director at St. Paul's, I am so excited to be part of developing the Buddy Blessings. To see these children get to know Christ is what it's all about. God has a plan and a place for every person in the church. We want St. Paul's to be a place where all can grow and serve, because every person has a unique God-given gift to share. A child with autism is just like you. They have feelings and care about you. So just be yourself and you may make a new friend. A special thank you to Emily for inviting the Gatchell family to St. Paul's. Her invitation has made it possible for the Gatchells to worship as a family. Just look at what one invitation can do. God bless.